Okay, so we are now live using Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. Not sure how the audio is on there. I can show you guys the. Not quite sure if the audio is correct on here. So the main thing with I've checked everything. The battery is running on the like the Video Mic Pro audio is like I can see the audio meters on my C100 and on the computer. Those are actually still running, so I can see it's moving. So I'm not quite sure why the audio went silent, or if it was like audio on the basically on YouTube side they cut off the audio because I didn't. Oh, I probably maybe know what they did. They might cut off the audio because like they somehow detected something that was okay. The not sure mirrored. What settings here? Is that other one is changed? I don't know how to set. There's no setting here to unmirror it. But okay, so yeah, the main. I don't know where the I think that YouTube itself suddenly cut off the audio. I think it probably somehow detected something. They think it was a certain the image is mirrored because this is like the front facing camera of my phone, and there is no settings here to make it normal. Uh, so I can't reverse it. So this is so I'm now using the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, and yeah, YouTube doesn't give me an option to reverse the camera. Still showing the audio bars, so I think it was something that got to do with YouTube itself. I'm not quite sure it was like some sound detection stuff or music detection stuff, even though I didn't play any music. Um, the other thing was, yeah, when I looked at the settings on the computer, also the audio bar was moving. I restarted the program, like the OBS software, a few times, and also restarted the stream, and you guys said there was no audio. Where, yeah, basically, what was I holding when the audio stopped? So I'll just start over from there, and if there's any questions, I'll just answer those. We don't have that much time. It depends on the battery of my phone. It's not attached to a charger. So here. So thank you guys. Yeah, it's I'm using my phone, so it's probably isn't the highest, isn't as good as quality as before, and also because it's mirrored. So it should be 2.5K. So thank you guys. So yeah, basically I was holding a few bags a few minutes ago. So this bag, or I'll just show you guys the Edochron, and now because I can see you guys commenting on my phone also, it's pretty nice. So this is the Edochron Slider 1 Pro, nice, compact, fits into a small bag. This is the Unica from Manfrotto. They stopped producing this, but you can find this often in a lot of shops. I like that it has this secret compartment at the bottom. So often when I travel, I put stuff in here. So, and also you can put, like, of course, camera, easy access on top. This is the Photo Pro, which I think is the Joby killer product, because if you are going to, like, if you are into vlogging and or you want to have like a camera that you, or a tripod that you can stick onto anything, this one is the one to get. Uh, the main thing is I've owned like several Joby tripods, and all of them broke within like a few months or even like a few weeks of use, and literally have put me off. Even though yeah, Vitek or Manfrotto bought Joby now, but I highly doubt the quality would improve. They made only more like more arms with the newer ones, but still this Photo Pro one really worth it. Also the price is really nice. Only thing is because the head is so plasticky, I wouldn't put a far too heavy camera on top of here. Just a lightweight mirrorless works quite well on here, or GoPro Action Cam. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you with all the birthday wishes. I haven't actually bought any cake or anything special today. Was too busy. Yesterday was another person's birthday, so I also didn't really much have time afterwards to go buy stuff. Actually, I wanted to buy some gold leaf to do some crazy stuff, but that will happen later. Yeah, so with also this backpack, this is the Veloci 7. This is a backpack that I've reviewed before, and actually this is the second one, or actually the third one that I owned, because the first one that I owned broke in America. It was just opening the zip and the zip just broke. I had to throw it away because I couldn't fix it. I didn't have like sewing kit to fix it, and then I bought a white version from America. Oh wait, I know what's happening. This is on 4G. Okay, so I'm putting this on Wi-Fi now. It should be less laggy, and probably my 4G data is almost up because I did that. Okay. It's also live streamed on Facebook on 4G instead of 3G than before. But yeah, so the stream should be improving. That's correct, yeah. So we're now on Wi-Fi, and is the stream now better? So for me, the front-facing mirror actually helps me also. It now being mirrored helps me also with like movements. It's just easier. It's now looking like I'm just looking at the mirror, so I don't have to like readjust my how I'm moving. So this bag is the Veloci from Manfrotto. This is a discontinued bag. I wish they still make it, because this is the only bag out there where I can here fit the Crane 2 easily without doing something crazy with it. It just fits in here nicely. So I like checked out like all bags doesn't have that long of a design of one side that you can put entire camera on, or the Crane 2 in, and like the bag you get with Crane 2 is just too big to carry around, and it's only like the bag fits only the Crane 2. And another thing with this bag, also for photography or filming interviews, if you have like a quick interview, this tripod, the compact action, fits in here, and you can put 2 of these tripods in here. So the main thing why it's important for me to have these 2 tripods is, one, I can put a mirrorless camera on here, and on the second one I put a light, so I can light the person that I'm interviewing, which makes it much easier to work with. It's, yeah, especially you have at least a lighting setup, and this is I showed you before, it's this tall, so you don't need to have a light stand. This compared to the, I think was the nano light stand from Manfrotto, the price is about the same, but this height, or this is slightly more compact than the nano one, because this is shorter and fits into this backpack. And move this up, and this is base, let's see, around 150 something centimeters. I'm 170, so or maybe 160. I need to look at all the comments now. And it shows silver play button. So this is the silver play button. So this frame around it is not standard. This frame is from IKEA. It's called Ribba. It's a pretty inexpensive frame, and I'll have like a quick video on Instagram soon how I put this together. So you just yeah, that frame around it looks much nicer. Also, cleaning off dust is just cleaning off this gloss instead of that logo inside, so it's much easier. It's just basically how it's made. I think it's like aluminium, or yeah, it's a silver aluminium frame, like plaque. It's not a casted and or not even a yeah, like sliced out. So because the sides I can see are side pieces. So this is like something, the sides are pasted onto here. And it's not like a pretty thick aluminium, it's pretty thin aluminium. It's like the front one at least is like slightly less than a millimeter, and then the side ones is like a thicker 2 millimeter aluminium. I wish it was a different design. And basically the logo here itself is a mirror, and then this is printed onto the aluminium, the text and the YouTube logo here. So it's interesting, but I like the older design more because it was more of a real button. I still wish they gave that older one. Now the camera I'm using is just mirrored. I can't set it, there isn't a setting here. If I go out of here, or literally go out of the live stream probably, if I wanted to change the camera setting. So yeah, basically right now we're streaming on my phone front facing camera, so it's not the back camera, so the front facing camera is mirrored. So still my channel will be a lot about giving you guys tips about filmmaking, about which gear you might be able to use, which gear is really awful, and yeah, basically give you guys a lot of filmmaking tips, and also of course still have like tutorials with editing and other kinds of tutorials. Basically it's a how-to channel, so tons of tutorials. I keep on looking at the C100, so I need to kind of like put that aside. What headphone do I use most while listening to music and editing? Actually, I use mostly the speakers when I am editing. If I am using a headphone, I'm using the AKG that actually came with my phone. It has actually quite nice bass to it. I don't really use a like a cupping, like over-ear headphone. I used to use the Sennheiser HD201, which is a quite affordable one. But the annoying thing with it is like because you're sweating, the things will get really dirty and yeah, you need to swap those things over time or wash them. So otherwise you get a really bad ear infection. So I really rather use just an in-ear headphone instead. So I use the AKG ones that came with my phone, which actually you can buy those really cheap off like eBay or Amazon or I don't know which shop that sells them. So let's see if there's any other questions. So yeah, currently a lot of people, I don't know why a lot of people so on DJI. I do know that drones are pretty much the ones to get, but their gimbals, especially like this one misses just the main simple pan follow mode. So it's basically locking the tilt and just follow your panning movement. So this missing this very simple feature while all the other gimbals have that. Ever used the Karma drone? No, I haven't used it because it went out of sale and then like it had that stupid thing that it crashes and then pretty much I didn't really need it because I'm not really that much fan of the drone footage because they still use that weird bit rate, the 60 MB per second for 4K, which is really low. Well, they should have gone with like 4K 100 megabytes per second really long time ago, or megabits per second. I heard it's bad because it was yeah. So GoPro trying out new stuff. Basically, like my advice for GoPro is stop doing all the extra accessories and try to build upon your camera, make the next better edition. Because seriously, Xiaomi could basically take over the company, like with the Xiaomi Yi or the Xiaomi yeah, action cam. They could literally just make a better version of theirs. Especially they now use like the Sony sensors, so the color and low light edition is quite good. Bullfrogs that save you. I mean, okay, well, the bullfrog is okay. I don't know what this. That's joke or okay. I agree. The camera is remained because like basically GoPro wants to have the full market in their own hands. I don't feel like they should have done that. Like the accessories, they shouldn't care that much about it because I know they can earn money from that, but like basically the accessories were that the third parties were making things that make their camera more better. But if they keep on like trying to attack those companies, then they are making an issue because if those companies actually go and make better accessories for the other brands, and yeah, that means like GoPro's trying to kill themselves. So GoPro is better. Like GoPro should have made a camera like professional high grade. I don't even mind if the camera would become slightly bigger, but if it was like a bigger sensor, bigger, like if they would have made a slightly bigger strong camera that had like maybe a better sensor with like high quality recording with like internal RAW, they would have like produced a camera that was awesome. But their development literally stopped at GoPro Hero 4 Black, I think, and only slightly improvements have been really made. So from the 5 to 6 is not that even a big of a jump. So that's why I haven't really gotten the Black 6 yet. So it looks the same, it's only like a few minor changes, but I don't feel like really need to go with the newer one. Like they should have done more with development instead of like buying off software companies and finding companies that make third parties accessories. What gimbal should I use if I have a Canon Rebel 60 and a small budget? So I would suggest you to, yeah, there's actually quite a lot of cameras or gimbals you can get and use. Uh, you can actually like search second-hand gimbals. You can find like Crane, the original version, because there's quite a lot of people who like upgraded to like the V2, the Crane Plus, or like the Crane 2 nowadays, that you can pick up the older versions secondhand quite nicely. And still like the changes aren't that big. So the Osmo, we have one here. So the DJI Osmo, personally, the quality isn't that great, audio quality isn't that great, battery life isn't that great. Um, yeah, personally, just the Osmo isn't that worth it. I would rather, like, my phone shoots 4K and just get a good phone gimbal instead. And like phone gimbals are so inexpensive now that it'd be cheaper to get like a phone gimbal, put your phone on top of here, film with your phone instead. I've already done like weddings with my phone gimbal, not entirely, but like the Steadicam shots are basically done with a phone gimbal instead of using a proper camera on a gimbal, because just because it's so compact and quick to set up. With like the Osmo, the issue is you set it or you turn it on, you clip first your phone on here, turn on your phone, turn on Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, and then turn on the Osmo, and then you set up. Basically it takes too long and the battery is only lasts 1 hour. Well, like my phone battery lasts so long, and this gimbal lasts like like a lot of hours at least. So this battery don't run out that fast, my phone battery doesn't even run out that fast. So if I need to, yeah, and if I don't use it, I just put my phone onto a power bank. So this is, I wouldn't go for the Osmo anymore. It's kind of pointless unless you go for the X5 and such with RAW, but the price is so high, it's ridiculous. So I rather instead of the X5R, I would rather wait for the Blackmagic Pocket 4K and just buy a gimbal for that. Yes, the Garden Hill one, I would definitely make more of those. I'll search for really cool spots in Hong Kong, because I always wanted to go to those spots and actually give me also a reason to go scouting them. Right now it's summertime, so I can go out and hike much more in much nicer weather. I search like crazy waterfalls here in Hong Kong, and like also maybe go to some of the tourist stuff, but give you a little bit of a different view of them, because I know like there are a lot of like tourist channels or travel channels here, but they all go like those basic standard stuff: Ladies Market, Temple Street, Central Hong Kong, the Peak. And while the Peak, well, sorry, my belly is rumbling, but the Peak is, I keep on looking at the C100, while the Peak is not even that great. It's great view, but the best view is slightly off the peak where you need to hike a little bit. There's like a better view. Like I can go to many places in Hong Kong where we can show you guys like awesome spots which nobody knows about. Any chance Sony FDR 3000? Like I'm really reluctant. Like the issue is that uh, yeah, I haven't like I need to get like a good contact with somebody with Sony because I'm not really want to buy an action cam. I don't really use them that much. I use my phone more than the action cam, so I rather put my phone um, yeah on the spot where that I need than use an action cam for it. Because my phone is waterproof, I can put it in the water and get the same shot. I can also I actually have a clamp for it to also kind of like this and just film. Uh, just only it looks odd having your such a big phone, especially with the S9 Plus having like such a big phone here on your neck. What do you think? 90D? Wait, is there a 90D? I didn't know this is a Canon 90D. Need to Google that. So I know the 80D. Okay, it's a rumor. So the 60D, 70D, 80D range, I've actually always avoided that range because it's not the highest class of that range, but the other issue is they always release the same sensor version but in a lower grade. So probably like now you have the 800D and pretty much probably will be the 900D coming up or the 850D, which will have the same sensor and the same stuff going on. So what's the newest thing? So the DPAF, but most Canon cameras have DPAF already, so it's not going to be any really new upgrades. No, and probably no, there's no mentioning of 4K, but probably like the M50 have like the weird ass 4K. Yeah, and Canon 4K is still weird. The bitrate's still weird. The crop factors are weird. 4K without cropping, and Sony has 4K without much cropping. So Canon needs to step up their game. But yeah, I only gonna talk more about it if there's more confirmed. So right now it's still a rumor. So it's also like A7S3 is also still a rumor. Not quite sure what will be there. The only thing I really ask for is for the Sony is like flip out screen. Anything can be the same. Just have a freaking flip out screen, because that becomes like the biggest thing that people would go for. Because right now, if I need to vlog with like the A7R2, I don't even know what I'm filming. So, or if I'm just filming myself, so I don't know the framing, don't know what I'm literally filming. I at least need to aim at myself. I know that's filming myself. Okay, so Shang Yang won the Adobe giveaway. So CHANGYONG. So it's like Malaysian Mandarin speaking comedy channel. So Shenyang needs to contact me. I haven't had any message, I think, private message yet. So he can message me like on my email that is inside at about. so contact at chungdha.com, or he can drop a message. I haven't received any message notifications. So Shengyang needs to contact me within a week, otherwise I can't get him correctly in contact with the proper Adobe persons. Also, for who are in Singapore at the end of the month at Broadcast Asia, I will be at Broadcast Asia at the Tsuen booth. I'll be explaining how to get like nice slider shots, and also explaining more about how to use the Tsuen Crane 2, also some of the new products that comes with the Tsuen Crane 2 that's been out now. So so for who wants to meet me in person at in Singapore, go to Broadcast Asia. Let's see. Any other questions here? So action cam wise, still is like I use my phone more. Both my phones now, the S9 Plus and the S8 waterproof 4K, especially the S9 Plus can do 4K 60p. Wait, that's like a really long question. So I have an Instagram called Cam Visuals. It would be cool if you could check it out. Give me some pointers. So your bio, graphic designer. Yes, back in the days I was a graphic designer slash packaging designer. So I did my own graphics for my packaging designs, and also did like a lot of cool logos. Also, I have this hairband I'm playing with, and sometimes just. Well, I like to have like this on my wrist because sometimes it's just handy to have something to just to bind something with it, or just attach something, because this has this weird foam cord. You can do like weird stuff with it, like also like locking it down much easier. So this is even though it's like a very girly thing around my wrist, it's quite handy. Only thing it does cost your hand to have like this weird pattern. But like other hair bands that I've tried, because this is fully plastic, it doesn't really collect your sweat, while like those more fabric ones kind of collect your sweat and will get smelly over time. At least this one don't really need to. Also, the other ones I also like get lost too easily because it's like fabric. If I need to wash my hands, also like need to remove it and stuff. This is plastic, easier to clean and make it clean. What camera would I recommend under 1,000? So Joseph Jip, depends on usually for photography, professional filmmaking, or just for vlogging, for vacations. So it depends on what your use is, because under 1,000 there is many cameras right now out there. Like if you are more professionally, you have a lot of cool cameras out there, like the A6500s. Right now the pricing isn't that bad, actually it's still above. So the A6300 you can get really nicely, put a speed booster on it, and you basically have like a more affordable A7 A7 R2, A7 S2 without the IBIS only. But A6500s, you do have that. Do I have the live chat on? What do you mean? I can see your, like, I can see basically live. So it's live. I can see you guys talking or typing in the bottom. So what's the best hybrid camera? So hybrid as like a super zoom. The RX10 Mark III, like there's too many marks, so many with Sony, so it's really annoying. I rather they don't do so far marks and also still be available. There's one that is like a limited zoom, like 24-70, which is, but it has like a really fast lens because they afterwards changed it. I don't know, it's like 24-100, I think, such, with a fast aperture, but later they added a really long zoom range, which they lessened the aperture, which wasn't that great. The Canon XC10 is also quite okay, but it also has like some issues with it. It's actually pretty okay, pretty decent, but the lens I just don't really like. It has like a super zoom. I wish it didn't have such a super zoom, just like a more limited zoom, but with a faster aperture would have been a better camera. 1 a.m. to get up early tomorrow to pick up. Okay, it's 1 a.m. at your side, but it's actually 3 p.m. here in Hong Kong. So it's so yeah. Good night, Cameron Dressler. Camera good for both video and photography. So for both video and photography, A6300s, I had that, and I really love it for both photos and videos. Even though it doesn't have an IBIS, but I still had like good videos from out of that camera. Combined with a calm light or a Filtrox adapter with speed booster, you basically have a full frame for a much lower price. Plus, because you have like the adapter, you can use like Canon lenses, which are quite affordable, and you get like proper autofocus. So that is pretty nice with that camera, the A6300. So both video and photo. Only thing is filming yourself is slightly less, but filming like events, filming others, you do have 4K, which is really nice. The other things, yeah, under 1,000. Like I do have like Panasonic G7, which is nice for 4K filming, filming others with manual focusing because autofocus doesn't really work that well. Photography side, it's okay, but 16 megapixels and being micro four thirds, it's quite limited. Also, the ISO is quite limited. Why do I like filmmaking? So filmmaking, I personally really like is you're telling a story with it, and also it's more out and about, and I really like is achieving something new, being or innovating. So I've always, if you check my channel, I've always like building stuff. I'm like background as a product designer. Really like doing innovations. So also like getting the shots that I need and trying to get a shot differently. So also like the fake drone shots. Basically, even though the technique isn't that new, it's still like for me it felt like I'm finding new methods for myself that I didn't knew before that, and just literally getting that shot done, achieving a shot, and not that much of thinking like that shot is impossible, but still it's like that shot is, now it's like my brain is like, I can achieve that shot, I need this, and this budget basically to achieve it. That is literally how my brain now works. It was pretty cool, and it's really different than doing other things. Like doing graphic design, I did like innovating, like I can draw it like this to make it look like this. But the problem was like I was just sitting behind the computer, just getting really depressed. Then with filmmaking, it's being out there, being with people, just going to crazy awesome locations. So filmmaking is really cool than a desk job. Which TV and movies inspire your filmmaking? Okay, so I'm going to grab some books that is really interesting. Um, so here, let's put this down. Makoto Shinkai. So these are storyboards. This right now you need to see his yeah, animated like anime films. So Makoto Shinkai has made like several really cool yeah, animated films. So these two is Your Name, and the other one is a short stories about this. No, that's not this. Basically called 5 centimeters per second, but not sure why the translation here is weird. But 5 centimeters per second is this storyboard, and this one is Your Name. So if you look at these animes, it's different. It's so cinematic. It's like a lot of the shots are actually possible to do. He could literally done this as a live action instead of as an anime. This looks so cinematic. It's really inspiring to look at, and also like if you see this storyboard, you see actually more detailed. If you watch back the anime again, you see like all the extra details that he actually included. Because like watching anime with the frames coming by so fast, you can miss a lot of details. And yeah, Makoto Shinkai, really watch his work. Like I literally anime inspire me more than watching TV shows and yeah, anime. However, Sherlock was really good in basically really good inspiration for a lot of like transitions and effects, because Sherlock has for a TV show done add so much effects in it. Have I gotten in trouble for filming at public locations? So not really at major troubles. I do have like sometimes if I vlog outside, like even though it's like just a basically a public square, but sometimes public squares have security guards and they just shoo you away. It's like you can't film here. You need to go away. Like they now like in Hong Kong, certain like parks are not really open to public, or you can't really just film there. So those are the only thing. I never have gotten like really extreme stuff. So never gotten anything that's like with cops involved. Yes, the image is mirrored because I'm using front-facing camera, so I can see what I'm filming and the framing, but I can't rotate it, mirror it back. So I'm just going to, yeah, me typing and doing live is not easy. It's plus I'm using two phones, so typing on my phone is just too slow. I rather just talk to the camera. So just type in your question and I'll just answer it on the camera. You should have more subscribers. Yes, I wish I get more and more subscribers. And yeah, only thing right now, I feel like the YouTube algorithm isn't really helping me. Especially sometimes I go offline and or just I'm too busy to do a lot of stuff. It's kind of hard to always put out daily or weekly. So sometimes when you're really busy, it's just a bit hard to do that. And yeah, nowadays it feels like YouTube algorithm really wants me to daily upload a video, which is making stuff harder. I do still get a lot of new subscribers, but it seems like new videos, the views are getting less and less, and either like people are subscribed but have never or not pressed the bell icon, so they're not getting informed with my new videos. So you can hold them up again, please. Okay, so the books. Okay, so it's Makoto Shinkai. Okay, I'll type his name in here. So Makoto Shinkai, 5 centimeters per second. And the other one is called Your Name. So yeah, it's a really it's so cinematic, the animes. So it's really you need to watch those animes. Other animes does also inspire, especially because they show impossible things, like camera angles you think it's impossible, but it's cool if you then try to imagine like how would I be able to do that. So it's like watching Bleach or other like animes. Also, like One Punch Man has like really crazy stuff. It's also quite inspirational. The stylistic choice they made, so you could actually also get inspired with watching One Punch Man and think like, how would I be able to do that maybe in After Effects or Premiere Pro to get certain effects. So anime for me is more inspirational than actually watching like live action movies. Because like I've watched Deadpool and Avengers Infinity Wars, so I'm not sure. Do you guys want to talk about it or want my opinion about it? It might be spoilerish if you haven't watched it though. Because yeah, Deadpool was pretty good. I didn't have any issue with it. I wasn't drawn out watching it. It was like a great story. It's not like the baseline of the story isn't really newish, but how they presented it was pretty cool and really funny. Because like if you think about it, it's also literally inside the movie they say it what kind of a movie it is and what kind of stuff it got. So it's kind of funny. It made its own review or own uh, yeah, talked about the own movie in the movie itself. Also funny they lots of stuff in the trailer that they didn't really use in the movie. God, Avengers. Actually, it wasn't a bad movie. It was a good setup movie, but the only thing was like you get a hate to one of the few characters because they do stuff that yeah is shouldn't have been done. But yeah, you kind of start to hate one of the Guardians of the Galaxy persons. The other things was just one shot that totally kicked me out of the movie. There was one shot with really weird bad keying, green screening, that literally got me out of watching. Yeah, however, it's at the end somewhere. They probably missed it while they were screening it. But personally, for me, it got me out. Like it was so weird seeing that shot. Overall, Yeah, also like one thing. I have this lens. Actually, I bought this lens. This is the Yongyo 100mm f2. Yeah, what do you guys think about these kind of lenses to review them? Because honestly, I bought it because like I've looked at around pricing and everything. I don't think this is that bad of a lens. This is especially if you want to have like a bokeh monster of lens. This is the lens to get. You can have like a full body shot, like person fully in shots, especially also in APS-C mode or like full frame. You can get like a nice blurred background. And Yongyao is really affordable. This is an f2, so this is also much cheaper. Like the Canon 50mm f1.2 and the 1.0 are really extreme. I don't feel like it's needed. Also, I don't really like there's somebody coming in the office, but I don't feel like really needs. I don't like the 50mm. I don't like it on the full frame. I don't really like it also on crop sensor unless it's a micro four thirds. But personally, like I like the slightly much longer lenses. Like I've got the 100mm here, and this one I really like because I looked at the 50 to 100, but I didn't like the Sigma 50 to 100, but it was limited to APS-C. I do have the 18 to 35, but I thought like I don't really like the 50 anyways, and the range between it. So I just bought the 100mm f2, and this get me the lenses that I really like, or the shots I really like. I will have actually a proper review and also a video with that totally shot with this lens. So this actually, like the 50 isn't rubbish, but I don't like the field of view. This actually is pretty decent. I actually shot photos with it with like the A7R2, and that's it. Okay, they got me cake. Okay, there's a melon birthday cake. Okay, so yeah, this quality isn't that bad. I'll have a video out soon which totally shot with this lens. You get really nice like shallow depth of field with this. Plus the price is not that bad. The only issue I have with this lens, I don't know if you can see it. When I rotate it and look into the window, it's actually moving backwards. So basically, this focus ring is like a Nikon focus ring. It's opposite of a Canon. So when I'm manually focusing, I always need to remember this is a backwards lens, this is a backward lens. So it's like kind of annoying. So to infinity focus is this side instead of this side. So the camera's mirrored anyway, so it looks normal. But this is like a mirror. The focus ring is mirrored against the normal one. So the price of this was like $150 around that. At least in Hong Kong, like 150 US or euros in Hong Kong. So this wasn't that expensive. How many your camera? So what do you mean how many your camera? Oh, actually how many cameras I've actually now got. So I have the GoPro, 2 phones, so the S9 and S8. I include them as camera because I use them as camera. The C100 Mark II, G7 Panasonic, so it's 5. GH5, 6, A7R2, 7, LX10 Panasonic, and Sony A5100s. I missed anything. I think I've got around 9 cameras that I own. And oh yeah, this 3D camera makes 10, but I haven't opened it yet. And like there's a lot of cameras from other guys here in the office, but yeah, for myself it's like 9 proper cameras. I color match these cameras on the same time. Basically, if I do multi-cam, I just Panasonic on Panasonic. The phones actually isn't that bad because they have like HDR mode, which is easily matchable with like the colors. Canon, basically, if other people from Canon, I use a Canon also. So basically, C100s match easily with like 5D Mark III. Sony wise, I actually manually self-set the color settings to a similar to Canon colors, so that now also fits more with Canon. It's like a Cine 2 with like a lot of settings changed. So basically, I don't really do like that much in post color grading than in camera. I kind of am lazy for that. The only color grades are the presets that you know, the quick grades that I do, because those are literally just drop it on and it has like a certain look. So yeah, we're at almost an hour now, so let's break this up. So yeah, hopefully you guys keep on watching. Yeah, please also make sure you hit that bell icon so you'll get notifications when I upload a new video, and yeah, not miss any of the new videos that's coming up. We'll have like more outdoors, more high quality videos than sitting indoors doing a review. Maybe on the Cantonese channel, the chairman one, will be sitting around unboxing stuff, doing much quicker, and also have like more people around. But we'll do for chungdha, go more outside, do more of those videos, more of those tutorials. So thank you guys. See you guys the next time. Bye bye. Well, wrong camera. So bye bye. Candle.